Welcome to the AutismPro Workshop, What is Autism? What is Autism is the first of 6 workshops of the series Understanding Autism and Autism Intervention. The purpose of this is to provide you with a basic understanding of autism and autism intervention. This workshop has been brought to you by AutismPro. For more information on AutismPro and our online suite of autism products, please contact us by email at info@autismpro.com, on our toll-free number at 1-866-462-0991, extension 1, or on our website at www.autismpro.com. In this workshop, you will learn about the identifying signs of autism, the basis of an autism diagnosis, social challenges, communication challenges, and ritualistic behaviors. Tom is a young boy who looks like a typical child but does not act like one. Tom often seems to be in his own little world, and he gets very upset for no apparent reason. Why does he act this way? Could he have autism? The nature of autism. What is autism? A child with autism typically shows many challenging behaviors, such as frequent tantrums, hurting himself, hitting and kicking others. Challenging behaviors are often the reason parents first seek out a professional who may diagnose autism in a child as young as 18 months. However, challenging behaviors are the result of autism, not an underlying characteristic of autism. Many explanations have been suggested for autism. However, we still do not know what causes it. We do know that autism is not a mental health disorder, a disease that can be passed to others, a lack of discipline on the part of parents, or a result of experiences in early childhood. Scientists think that autism is neurological in origin. They believe that autism results from differences in how the brain works. They suspect that there may be a genetic reason for these differences. Environmental factors may play some role in triggering the disorder. Whatever the cause, no medical cure has been found. Although autism has a neurological origin, clinicians and educators treat it as a developmental disorder. Children with autism do not develop the full range of skills that typical children display. Educators and clinicians see their role as assisting in the development of these skills. What is autism? A mental health disorder. B, a neurological and developmental disorder. C, a disease. D, a behavioral disorder. Compare your response to the answer on the next page. The answer is B, a neurological and developmental disorder. It is thought by scientists that autism has its roots in the functioning of the brain. These neurological differences make it difficult for the child to develop skills in the same way that typical children do. Let's now look at examples of 3 children who have been diagnosed with autism. Early signs of autism. How do I know if a child might have autism? These 3 children all have autism, but are very different from one another. So how did they get a diagnosis of autism? Sam's teacher describes what raised concerns. Sam came to preschool already knowing how to read, but Sam would ignore other children. He loved lining up cars on the table and spinning objects on the floor. He was obsessed with carrying trains around. He would have tantrums and meltdowns many times a day. He had a major behavior problem. Mark's mother describes what led her to the doctor. Mark did everything a 2-year-old does. He said a few words, he played, he interacted, and then everything just stopped. I couldn't reach him. I yelled his name and I banged pots, but he wouldn't respond or talk to me. I thought he might be deaf." Tony's father describes what led him to the doctor. "Tony was a very easy baby. When he was about 8 months old, he started crawling. But by the time he was 18 months old, there was no speech and no eye contact. By then, we knew that some help from speech therapy was needed." The 3 children with autism are missing skills that typically develop during childhood. These are called developmental skills. As a typical child grows, he will, as an infant, acquire basic developmental skills. Example, looking at, watching, and copying others. Use these basic skills as building blocks for developing more complex skills, for example, playing with others. He will eventually develop advanced skills that combine many other skills, for example, having a conversation with others. In a child with autism, however, key developmental skills may never develop, or partially develop, or develop much more slowly than expected. Which child is most likely to have autism? A child who is missing important developmental skills. B, a child who has frequent tantrums. C, a child who hits people. D, a child who hurts himself. Compare your response to the answer on the next page. The answer is A, a child who is missing developmental skills. Difficult behavior commonly occurs in children with autism, and this is often what makes parents bring their child to a professional. But in autism, difficult behavior results from the lack of important developmental skills. A qualified professional will be able to assess a child for these missing developmental skills. Let's now take a look at which developmental skills are missing in children with autism. All children with a diagnosis of autism have 3 characteristics in common: social challenges, communication challenges, and repetitive or ritualistic behaviors.